Hello, everybody, and welcome to the US Session Brief. We're on Monday, the 17th of April 2023, just under an hour until the New York and US Session open today. Happy Monday. The big news today is bank earnings. After the solid quarter that JP Morgan reported last week, we're keen to hear what the regional banks have to say. Make no mistake, JP Morgan is the top bank in the world, and their earnings don't set a precedence for the regional banks. Charles Schwab is reporting today before the open, in fact any minute now. SpaceX launched Starship this morning, the most powerful rocket in the world. US markets just ticking slightly lower after a promising start, basically fading some of them earlier gains. Gold and oil, the last time I checked, oil was slightly lower, gold completely flat on the day. BTC had been dropping below that 30k level as well, and I think is actually heading back down to a big support level at 29,230. You can check out my crypto session brief, which I posted inside the crypto chat room, or you can find it on YouTube, where I discussed the next moves there. Let's take a look at the day so far. Asian equities ended higher today as the risk-on sentiment of recent weeks continued. Markets were led by Hong Kong, that saw the Hang Seng ended its highest since late Feb, and in Shanghai, where the composite index closed at its highest since July the 22nd. Japan was higher again, South Korea and Taiwan also strong. The People's Bank of China injected 170 billion yuan today at an unchanged rate of 2.75% and 150 billion Chinese yuan, maturing to give 20 billion net injection. China's new home prices rose 0.5% month-on-month in March, following February's 0.3% rise, third consecutive month-on-month increase. European equities have been higher today, extending last week's strength, which saw the region book close its longest weekly gaining streak since early December into Friday's close. The ECB's Lagarde has said that US will not default on debt, as it would have a very negative consequence, rather stating the obvious there. Morgan Stanley strategist said European EPS will fall 10% in 2023, with substantial risks of downgrades due to a slowing economy, currency headwinds and margin contraction. House Speaker McCarthy, over into the Americas now. House Speaker McCarthy to speak today about, at the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, about the debt ceiling. Merck is to acquire Prometheus Biosciences for $11 billion to help bolster immunology portfolio. Samsung is considering replacing Google with Microsoft Bing. Carlyle Group is in talks to make a major investment in Manchester United Football Club. In terms of the calendar today, there's not much excitement, I'm afraid. Like I said, we do have earnings really kicking off this week. Bed Bath & Beyond, Charles Schwab, State Street, probably some of the highlights today that I can see, but we start with some of the bigger names, I would say, from tomorrow. Let's take a quick look at market technicals. We've got the S&P poised this week at a pretty interesting juncture, basically looking to test its own currently yearly highs from Feb. That comes in at just over that 41.65 level that I've got on my charts at around 41.92. We did reject off my level at 41.66. That was on Friday though. Yeah, that was Friday's trade. Right near the end, we rejected off that level. So just watch out overhead for that one. Downside support comes to around 14.95. Be interested to see if we get much action today with the quiet calendar and also relatively quiet earnings. Like I said, everything kicks off really tomorrow. Gold 2000 is the line in the sand, stating the obvious, but that's where we are. Flat on the day so far. Dollar yen looking to creep higher, looking to creep above that 133.50 level, and now needs to see a strong break, or not just a strong break, but a solid close above what was last week's highs and above this 133.50 level, and then we can start looking upwards to the 135.32 level, trading in a little bit of a channel now, as we can see here. If I was to just put this on my charts for a second, you can see what I'm referring to. Got the support underneath. Structures somewhat holding overhead as well, so you might just see a little bit of back and forth between the highs and the lows, but as long as we keep putting in higher lows, then the trend to the upside is the most likely direction of travel, and probably the path of least resistance from here for the dollar yen. Like I mentioned, oil is heading down today so far. Can't read too much into that. Well, 82.30, probably that key technical level. We've talked about this recently, some major highs there in recent-ish times. Big resistance level. We tried breaking above last week, but it looks like we can't hold above. So again, just suggesting that we're going to be stuck within this 82.30 to 72 range for a little while longer, at that big $10 range that we've been in, and we'll see where we end up. Today, I'll be watching out for a break of Friday's low, and that could signal a move back down to 80. That's a wrap for today's session brief, ladies and gents. See you all inside the chat room. Thanks for listening, and all the best with your trading. Bye for now.